She is not a stranger to Kenyans, but few know her as a controversial blogger. She came into the limelight during Uhuru's administration as one of the wings in the Jubilee Party. Barely a year to the 2013 general elections, when Uhuru was making his first try at the presidency in what was considered a two-horse race between him and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, a photograph was taken during the Jubilee Party's National Delegations Convention and became a talking point among Kenyans online. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta was captured staring at someone in the background. Among the crowds of delegates, behind Uhuru was a young lady who appeared to be smiling back at the party leader. The young lady who wore a red dress to match the Jubilee colors was Pauline Njoroge. Born and raised in a humble Christian family in Githega, Kiambu County, she lost her mother at an early age of 10 years. She spent her years at the feet of her father and grandparents, who struggled to pay her school fees but saw her through Moi Girls Kamango. That was the start of her journey into becoming one of the top social media propagandists and political communicator. Pauline has worked closely with the government, and it's during Uhuru's second term that the blogger got more involved with the former president's legacy projects. She was so close to the Uhuru's administration that she covered a number of his foreign trips, her highest moments being the G7 summit in Canada in 2018. Knowing that she was on her own after doing KCSE in 2004, Pauline made a daring move to raise her college fees, and she decided to go to Cabernet Gardens and beg the late President Daniel Moi, since he also educated her late mother. Unfortunately, she was turned away by GSU officers who were guarding the gate. She applied to join a private university in Nairobi, where she was admitted but could not raise enough fees for a semester and eventually dropped out of school. She had to endure a few years of uncertainty, and she went back to the village after her hope of progressing was crushed. A couple who knew her from the church invited her to stay with them as she figured out her next move, and the couple opened a posho mill in Gashie and asked Pauline to run it since they couldn't afford a hired laborer. This brought her back to the city. Working in a posho mill did not kill her dream of pursuing political science, and she spent her free time at the mill reading and researching after borrowing books from the American Reference Center Library in Nairobi. Having registered as a member at the U.S. Embassy, she started an NGO dubbed Eagles Leadership Foundation with the help of a few friends, where they got involved in the embassy's programs. One day, she was invited to attend the American Independence Day reception at the U.S. ambassador's residence, where she approached PR mogul Ginadine, who introduced her to the late Minister Joe Nyaga, and this gave her a ray of hope. Because she could not fund her NGO, Pauline decided to use her Facebook profile to engage other youths, and her social media engagement caught attention of one of her followers, who sent her Peter Kenneth's number. She texted him and he called back the following day. With just a KCSE certificate, a Facebook page and a Twitter handle, Pauline stepped into the politician's office at the Treasury in 2012 January, where they offered her her first real job, which was the start of her political communication journey. Pauline gained admiration of Uhuru's the National Alliance Party TNA and was appointed as the communications manager for the TNA Secretariat. Pauline also worked in the Azimio campaign team as a social media propagandist and strategist in the run-up to the 2022 general elections. Away from politics, Pauline has worked for New Partnership for Africa's Development, NEPAD Kenya, NEPAD Agency, and the Second African Union Men's Conference. Reporting for Bina TV Updates, I'm Maggie Ndumia.